My horrible mall experience. It was supposed to be a simple shopping trip with the family. The mall was busy as usual, filled with conversation and the occasional screech of children. I remember admiring a pair of shoes in a store window when everything went strange. The lights flickered briefly, then turned a deep, unsettling red. Confused, I turned to call out to my wife and kids, but the crowd around me had vanished. The vibrant, colorful shops were now darkened, and the eerie red light cast long, distorted shadows on the empty floors. My heart raced as I called out for my family, but there was no response. The once busy mall was now silent and hollow. My footsteps echoed in the vast emptiness, amplifying my growing sense of dread. Suddenly, a rush of cold air swept through the mall, and I noticed dark figures emerging from the shadows. They wore long, hooded cloaks that seemed to absorb the light. Their faces were covered, but their presence was still menacing. I turned and ran, hoping to find an exit, but the walls seemed to shift, turning familiar corridors into a confusing labyrinth. The figures moved with unsettling grace, their cloaks swirling behind them as they closed in. In a desperate attempt to avoid them, I ducked into a small, dimly lit store. My breaths came in ragged gasps as I pressed myself against a shelf, trying to stay as silent as possible. Through a crack in the store's door, I saw the cloaked figures pass by, their movements deliberate and slow, as if savoring the hunt. Just as I thought I might have a chance to slip away, the door burst open and the figures poured into the store. Their eyes, hidden in shadow, glowed with a cold intensity. I knew there was no escape. One of the figures stepped forward, extending a gloved hand toward me. As his hand reached out, I saw the shine of a silver blade. My heart pounded in my chest as I braced for the inevitable. But before the blade could reach me, the lights flickered again, and the red hue faded, replaced by the harsh glare of fluorescent lights. I found myself back in the mall, surrounded by confused shoppers and a bustling crowd. My family was there, looking bewildered but unharmed. The cloaked figures were gone, leaving only the echo of their presence and a lingering sense of dread. I never spoke of that night to anyone, but the memory of those glowing eyes and the feeling of impending doom still haunts me. I can't have sleep without seeing those eyes staring at empty still fear that I will wake up one night and my wife won't be here, with me in this dimly lit red room.